I have arrived at home and this is my very first ever 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5 video. You have seen my morning routine, my 5 a.m. wake up, go to the gym, everything that comes with getting ready to be prepared for my day. And now I want to show you my process of unwinding, relaxing, getting ready for bed in my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. Now, a lot of videos that I see are very productive 5 to 9s. And I just want to say this video is not going to be like that. I would say I have a productive 5 to 9, probably 2 out of the 5 weekdays. The other 3 days are just very realistic ways that I unwind after work. And I don't think it's sustainable to have this extremely productive, packed nighttime routine. And sometimes I'm a little bit skeptical about other people's videos regarding that and how long they actually keep up with that routine. If it's just for the video, if it's just one specific day out of the week where they're that productive, I don't know. If you haven't watched it already, I definitely recommend watching my early morning routine. If you have watched it, you know that I go to the gym in the morning and that I don't like going at night. I could never be a night gym person. I've done that in the past, and honestly, I just started dreading it every single day while I was at work. It just felt like a chore. It didn't feel fun, but going in the morning feels motivating to me specifically. I know other people going at night feels motivating, but that just wasn't doing it for me. So now I am free. I am home. I am here to do my relaxing routine. No worrying about the gym. No worrying about having to go anywhere but here. This is going to be a very self-care based 5 to 9 video. That is what I spend the majority of my weekdays doing after work. And then 2 days. So I have my date night with my boyfriend on Wednesdays. We actually designate a day out of the week and we stick to it so that we make sure that we're doing this every single week. So we'll either stay in or we will go out somewhere fun like the movies, out to eat. We love playing darts. The second day is usually dedicated to this board game group that I recently joined. On another one of my videos, I talked about how I wanted to get more into common spaces and shared spaces with other people who have other interests. So I did join this board game group and I have been loving it. So that's just been something that I look forward to during the week. We go to a different brewery each time and just try out the different stuff that we have. We all play different games, learn new games, play old games that we've played before, and it's just a ton of fun and I just love it. But the first thing on my list is I always do a meditation right after work, okay? So I have recently on Sundays been going to a Buddhist Zen center, and from that, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself Buddhist in the religion, but more so in the practice and the values that it brings to my life. So one thing that I like to do is just meditate after work, and I kind of call it, if you've seen the show Severance, I call it my severance period because I like to think of it like I'm going up and down the elevator in that show. So I go to work and I'm going down the elevator. I'm forgetting everything from the outside world and I'm ready to be focused. Okay. And when I am going home from work and I meditate, I'm going back up the elevator, forgetting everything at work, leaving it all behind, and just reminding myself that I am separate from my job and my job is separate from me. So a little bit about my job. I am a graphic design marketing manager. And so that's where I spend my day from 8 o'clock a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And a lot of times it is very difficult to turn my brain off because I'm constantly thinking of new creative ways to make things happen at work, or I'll be in the shower and have a good idea. And my brain's just always running. And sometimes, that is definitely a good thing and a good trait to have, but that also can be a bad thing because it means that you're taking your work life home, bringing the external into your home, and sometimes that can just get really exhausting. Or a lot of times I'll be replaying mistakes that I made over and over in my head. So for example, this week, if you know anything about measurements and sizes, or if you actually if you just have a brain, which apparently I didn't when this happened, but I accidentally ordered a postcard to be an 8.5 by 11 instead of a 5.5 by 11, and I felt so so embarrassed, and that's the kind of stuff that I would typically bring home and keep thinking about. But doing stuff like meditation has really helped with my mental and helped me realize that nothing really matters. You'll hear me say that a lot, and it's not nothing really matters in a sense of, oh, what's the point in life? There's no point in life. But I mean, nothing really matters in the sense of, in the grand scheme of things, how much of an impact does this actually have? Is this thing only affecting me because I keep thinking about it? Or is it actually affecting my life? Does it really need my energy? And that's just the kind of stuff that I challenge myself to think about a lot. I've been trying to rework my brain into just having that calm, relaxing, nothing really matters. My meditations are usually 10 minutes long, so nothing too crazy. Sometimes I will go a little bit longer when I feel it is necessary, but 10 minutes is usually enough to kind of get me that peace that I need to wind down for the day. It's now about 6 o'clock and I have finished my meditation. And guys, if you do not have some type of nighttime meditation or unwinding ritual, I cannot recommend it enough because I'm no longer thinking about outside things and bringing them into my home. I am ready to transition into the period of relaxing and getting ready for bed. But next, I am going to clean my cat's litter box. I clean their litter box every single day just because I feel like if you don't do it for like a week, it does build up and it actually gets harder to clean than if you were just to do it a little bit every single day. So I do try to keep up with it. And because we have our cat's litter box in the bathtub, we have a cute little setup for it. And I like to make sure everything is refreshed and smelling good so that when we're getting ready in the morning, we're not smelling that every single day. A good tip for chores is to try not to think of it like a chore. I know that sounds a little bit odd. How can you romanticize a chore? Like, it is what it is. But guys, when I started listening to music and putting on a podcast while doing chores, things got so much better because I no longer felt like there was someplace I needed to be. I truly felt like I was supposed to be in this moment right now. And I was just really living in it and embracing it. So this is a litter box enclosement that we use for our cats. We like to keep it separate from the rest of the house. We find that that's easier. I have tried having the litter box in the entrance of our home. I've tried having it in a kitchen, and it just doesn't work as well as this system has for us. We just love how it stays away out of sight and it gives them a little space that they can go to. So to continue to be realistic with you guys, one of my favorite parts of the day is to come home, make my dinner, watch an episode of something, and play Catan Mobile. I've been really into playing this. It's actually, I need to put it away sometimes because it is an addiction. It's getting pretty bad, but I just look forward to it every single day. It's my way of having me time and something that excites me. As silly as it sounds, I definitely recommend that you find something like that. I know that screen time, probably not the best thing to implement into your life for a very long time, but the way I justify it is I'm playing a game, I'm using my mental capabilities and problem solving skills to do this. So it's actually just a fun activity for myself. It could be crocheting, it could be knitting, it could be painting for you, but this is just something that I really love to do. And sometimes I do find it realistic when I watch these 5 to 9 videos and TV or a little bit of phone time isn't involved, because I feel like a majority of us do have that. That's just cut out of a lot of people's videos because we want to show the productive parts of our lives. But sometimes being productive isn't always the point. It's about enjoying and doing things that you love. I love the show Superstore. That is my current comfort show, okay? And along with watching Dawson's Creek and a rewatch of Pretty Little Liars, I feel like every girl has to rewatch Pretty Little Liars every now and again and just laugh about how silly it is. So we're gonna make dinner and throw on an episode of Superstore. eating, I like to take a shower in. It's not my hair wash day to day. So what we're gonna be doing is wrapping my hair in this towel just so it doesn't get wet. I'm going to be using this Tony Moly Peach Punch Sweet Foam Cleanser. You'll hear me talk a lot about the Tony Moly brand. I think their stuff is so cute. They have monthly bundles that I like to get. They do a Squishmallow collab with pimple patches and face masks. It's just the cutest thing ever. That felt so good, was much needed after a long day. Next I'm gonna be putting a face mask on. So Tommy, my boyfriend, he was telling me, he asked me one day, he said, do face masks even work? And I think they work. I've actually seen quite a bit of progress in my skin since I started using them regularly. I don't use them every night, but I would say 3 out of the 7 days I use them. And honestly, even if they didn't work, we'll still buy into the concept of using one just because I really like the way that it feels on my face. And it's just super relaxing to me regardless of if it works or not. So I think I would still do it anyways. So I'm gonna be putting this on, and also I usually read while this is on just because I read for a good 20 minutes every night, and these take about 20 minutes before I have to take them off. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't even feel stupid right now. I low-key feel at my hottest when I have like a face mask on and one of these things pulling my hair back. I don't know why. Just something about the aesthetic of it all makes me feel good. Anyways, I am reading this book. It's called Inviting Investigation, and it's just the author's Dharma notes. And I think it's just really good life lessons, regardless of if you're practicing Buddhism or not. I think it's worth a read, and it just helps you get a little bit more knowledge about the religion and the systems within it. I just, in general, love reading different books, whether it's about Christianity, Buddhism, other religions. I feel like it's a good nighttime book because you don't want to choose something that's going to overstimulate your brain too much and make you think of new ideas. So there's a lot of self-help books that I like reading, and that's not the kind of thing that I typically choose before bed because then my brain's always going to be thinking in productivity mode. And if that's the case, I'm never going to go to bed. So we stay away from those. And I like reading my Harry Potter books before bed. I know I'm 20 years too late, but I started last year and I'm on book 5 and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know why I didn't give it a shot earlier. And I've also never seen the movies. So going into the movies is going to be a new experience for me. And also when the show comes out, I think I'm going to be looking at it from a brand new lens because it's not something where I watch the movies first. And so I don't really have a picture in my mind of how these characters should look, besides obviously the book and their descriptions. So I'm very excited for the series. I'm going to be showing you all the face products I use before I head to bed. It is now about 9 o'clock, and so this is kind of the time where I usually wind down and start going to bed. So first, I usually put this, see this is Tony Moly again, and it's a Pocket Bunny Sleek Mist. So I usually just spray a few sprays over my face just to moisturize a little bit. And then I always do the toner on kind of the under layer. I just get my serums from Marshall's. They're like $5, and I love all of the serums that I've gotten from there. I feel like they're very good quality serums, and they don't really cost that much compared to ones you would get at Target or Walmart. Next, I have this hyaluronic acid moisturizer, or face cream, I guess. Yeah, face cream that I just like to put on for the top layer. Sometimes I do an overnight mask when I go to sleep, but since I did my sheet face mask tonight, I'm not gonna be sleeping with an overnight mask. So that is it, guys. That is my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. I've tried to keep it super realistic for you guys, as I have said. It's not about being perfect. It's not about grinding every single second of your life. It's not a productivity contest. Sometimes it's genuinely just about relaxing and doing things that you love to do. And that way you can be energized for the things that you do need to do and when you do need to be productive. So don't overthink it. Start small and stay consistent. Showing up for yourself, even if it's in the smallest ways, is what will truly change your life. If you like this video, go check out my 5 a.m. morning routine so you can get a glimpse into what my morning is like and how I'm being productive. And that leads me to being able to take the time after work to relax and unwind. As always, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you on the next. And remember, it is a good day to have a good day.